Tonight, the invitation song will be number 262. Tonight, I wanted to talk to y'all about adversity. And I was sitting at home. I was trying to think of maybe a cool analogy or a cool story like Tim and Franklin did, but I really couldn't come up with anything. So I was sitting around and I realized that I know so many people in my life who really been through so much, but they still managed to not let any of that bring them down. The first person I really want to talk about is a lady you all might know. If you watch the news, you know a lady named Brenda LeDunn. She's a anchor for ABC 3340. Now, if you met her, you might shake her hand and call her Miss LeDunn, but I'd run up to her and give her a hug because she's like my second mom. Me and her son, we've been best friends since like junior high, and I really don't remember a time where I didn't know them. They're pretty much my second family, and I was over there yesterday watching the Alabama Penn State game with them. And that was a real good time. But if you know anything about her and about her story, she was diagnosed with breast cancer a few years ago, and that was a really hard time on her family. But when I was around, you never even know that she was sick. She was always uplifting, and she always had a smile on her face, and she was always there to encourage you, even though she was going through so much pain. And now she went through chemotherapy, and she even lost her hair and all that. But now the cancer is in full remission, and she's been running in marathons for years now to find a cure for breast cancer because she doesn't want anyone to go through the pain or the hardship that she went through. And just every time I see her, and I just always think about that and just how nice and awesome that she can be, even going through that. And I've had the opportunity to go hear her speak because she goes and tells people her story, and she's even written books about what she's gone through, and she's always there for other people. And she's just an inspiration, and just one of the most inspirational women that I know. Another guy I want to talk about is one you haven't heard of. His name's John Michael Ogletree. He's a graduate of Briarwood, and he's a really fantastic pianist. But the thing that held him back for most of his life was that he was a dwarf. And he came to talk to our school last year, I believe, and he told us a story about how even though people wouldn't outright say, "Hey, look at that guy, he's weird," he could always feel them judging him, and it just made him feel so self-conscious all the time, and he never wanted to share the gift that he really been given by God. And he started to play for us, and the amazing thing about him is he could play any song by ear. Someone gave him their iPod during the chapel, and he listened to the song for one time, and then he started playing it like he'd been playing it for years. And after overcoming that adversity in his life, he went on and he's won the greatest young artist in Birmingham in 2008. He has 5 CDs. He's played all around the country, and he's even played in Europe. And hearing his story and getting to know him was a really great experience I think I'll always cherish, because no matter what that I think I'm going through, God blessed me with an able body, and I want to use it for His service. And He's always going to be an inspiration to me. Now, the third guy, is David from the Bible. And of course, we all know this story, David and Goliath. And I was thinking about how we've been told this story ever since we were little, so we don't really think about it that much. But I really couldn't imagine a kid younger than me going up against this giant like it's no problem when the whole army wouldn't even face him. And he didn't want any armor, not a weapon or a sword. He just wanted a slingshot and some rocks. And I was thinking about that, and that seems crazy to me. I really just couldn't believe it, but he did it because he knew that he had faith in God, and he knew that God would protect him, and there was nothing that David couldn't do with God on his side. Now, as Christians in our everyday life, we might not have a story that's inspirational, but we really do face the biggest adversary that there is. We face Satan on a daily basis. In 1 Peter 5:8 says, "Control yourselves and be careful. The devil, your enemy, goes around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to eat." And I read that, it hit me like, if there was a lion outside, there's no way that I'd be going outside because I value my life. But Satan's ready to attack us at any point, just waiting for us. But as Christians, we have we have God on our side, and there's nothing that we can't do. And a verse that we always overlook sometimes, or I know that I have in the past, is Philippians 4:13, and how true it actually is that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And even though we've heard that verse ever since we were little, sometimes we forget how true it actually is, that we really can do anything with the power of Christ. And that just really inspired me, because I know that no matter how overwhelming the devil may seem, God's always on my side, and there's no way that the devil can touch me. And so tonight, if anyone is feeling like they're being overwhelmed by their adversary, or they want to be baptized so they can start the new fight with Christ, I'd love you to come forward together as we stand and as we sing.